Good afternoon. We will discuss today the Unit 13, which is about the design for sustainable supply chain. Supply chain decisions are generally influenced by different factors ranging from internal to external factors, from strategic to operational factors. Here are the some key factors, that is demand forecasting, an important factor which determine the supply chain decisions. Supply relationship also, in a way, significantly impact the decisions relating to supply chain decisions. Cost management, controlling costs across the entire supply chain, like your procurement, manufacturing, is a critical factor in decision making. And commoditization of new technology, one major trend which is happening in varieties of industries, a growing availability of stacks with the modern technology to anyone who wants it. Today, innovations are become commodity-like products. For example, new technology products like virus scanning software, fast modems do connect with the internet are rapidly becoming standard features in many of the then rapidly declining unit cost. Even some of the most sophisticated forms of knowledge are becoming widely available on the internet for a very low cost. And C, burden of strategic commitment. Changes often require new managerial mindset and a willingness to challenge the assumption about how to add value to the emerging customer needs. Often, established firms become wedded to ingrained patterns of behavior. It is important for firms to continue monitoring how their products and are likely to evolve over time. Again, technology innovations are also playing an important role in designing the supply chain. Innovations like Internet of Things, data analytics, automations are related to process optimization, regulatory environments, compliance with the local and national and international regulations also affect the supply chain decisions, particularly in areas such as product safety, labeling, and environmental sustainability. Market dynamics also a factor which is increasingly influencing the supply chain design, and market dynamics includes market trends, the competition in the market, consumer preferences. They play a significant role in supply chain decision, including your product design, assortment planning, and geographic expansion. Now, the important concept of competitive advantage, sustaining competitive advantage in today's dynamic business environment requires a combination of strategic foresight, operational excellence, and continuous innovation. And if you talk about competitive advantage, one of the important elements of competitive advantage is differentiation. Often company adopt differentiation to get the competitive advantage. That means by offering unique products, services, or experiences that set the company apart from the competitors can create a suitable competitive advantage. This could involve superior product quality, innovative features, exceptional customer service or branding. Cost leadership, becoming the lowest cost producer in the industry allows a company to offer competitive prices while still maintaining profitability. This strategy requires efficient operations, economics of scale, and effective cost management practices. And focusing on a specific market that's called niche market or specific market segment or niche allows a company to tailor its offering to meet the unique needs of the customers. And by specializing, then the company can achieve a higher customer loyalty and profitability. Then, talking about the competitive advantage, innovation plays an important role. Continuously innovating product processes and business models is essential for staying ahead of competitions. This could involve technological advancement, new product features, and process improvements or disruptive business models. And again, customer focus is also a competitive advantage. Building strong relation with customers by understanding their needs, preferences, pain points can lead to increased customer satisfaction and loyalty. Providing personalized experiences, excellent service, anticipating future needs can differentiate a company from its competitors. Then, supply chain efficiency, optimizing the supply chain for cost effectiveness, flexibility, and responsiveness can provide a competitive advantage. This includes efficient sourcing, manufacturing, disruption, and inventory management practices. Talent and culture, attracting and developing and retaining top talent is crucial for sustaining competitive advantage. Fostering a culture of innovation, collaboration, and continuous learning can drive an employee engagement and performance. As well as brand reputation, building a strong brand reputation based on trust, credibility, positive association can create a competitive advantage. This involves consistent messaging, delivering on promises, actively managing brand perception, and agility and adaptability, being able to quickly adapt to changing market conditions, customer preferences. Technological advancement is essential for sustaining competitive advantage. This requires organizational agility, flexibility, and willingness to embrace change. A good business model or strategy depends on various factors, including the industry, market dynamics, company goals, resource, and however, some common characteristics of successful business models and strategies include value proposition. What do you mean by value proposition? Clearly define the value your products and service offer to the customers. What problem are you solving for them? And what benefit do they derive? A compelling value proposition forms the foundation of successful business model. Target market, identify and understand your target market thoroughly. Who are your ideal customers? And you have to understand what are their needs, what are their preferences, how they behave. Tailor your products and pricing and market strategies to effectively and resonate with your target audience. Then, revenue stream, develop multiple revenue streams that align with your value proposition and target market. This could include direct sales, subscription model, licensing fees, advertising, or ancillary product and services. Maintain a clear understanding of your cost structure and ensure that your revenue streams cover your expenses while providing sufficient profitability. Keep cost under control through efficient operations, outsourcing, automation, and other cost-saving measures. Identify and leverage your competitive advantages, whether it is through superior product quality, unique features, cost leadership, brand reputation, and other factors that differentiate your offering from the competitors. Then, scalability. Design the business model to be scalable, allowing you to grow sufficiently as demand increases. Consider how you can expand your operations, reach new markets, or increase production without proportional increases in cost. Then, customer acquisition and retention. Develop effective strategies for acquiring new customers and retaining existing ones. This could involve targeted marketing campaigns, exceptional consumer service, loyalty programs, and other initiatives to build long-term relationship with customers. Innovation and adaptability. Foster a culture of innovation and adaptability within your organizations to stay ahead of the market trends, technological advancement, changing customer needs. Continuously seek opportunities how to improve, evolve your products, process, and business model. Partnership and collaboration. Explore strategic partnerships, alliances, or collaborations with other businesses, suppliers, or stakeholders to enhance capabilities, access new market, or drive innovation. Demand-driven supply network is a concept in supply chain management strategy that emphasizes responsiveness to customer demand signals rather than relying solely on forecast or traditional push-based approach. In a demand-driven supply network, the flow of goods and information is driven by real-time demand signals, allowing the companies to better align supply with actual customer needs. Here are some of the important characteristics and principles of demand-driven supply network. Demand-driven supply network is customer centricity. The primary focus of the customer-driven supply network is meeting the customer demand effectively and efficiently. Companies prioritize understanding customer needs, preferences, and behaviors to ensure products are available when and where they are needed. Demand sensing and shaping. Demand-driven supply networks leverage advanced analytics, data integrations, and demand sensing techniques to capture and analyze real-time demand signals. This enables the company to anticipate and respond quickly to changes in demand patterns, leading to improved forecast accuracy and inventory optimization. Flow-based planning and execution rather than relying on traditional forecast-driven planning process. Demand-driven network emphasize continuous flow and replenishment based on actual customer demand. This includes practices such as pool-based production, dynamic replacement, just-in-time inventory management, network visibility and collaboration. Demand-driven supply networks require end-to-end visibility across the entire supply chain, from suppliers to customers. Real-time data sharing and collaboration among supply chain partners enable better coordination, faster response time, reduce risks of disruptions. Agility and flexibility. Demand-driven supply networks are designed to be agile and flexible, capable of quickly adapting to changes in demand, supply, or market conditions. This may involve flexible manufacturing process, dynamic sourcing strategy, or alternative transportation routes. Decoupling points. Decoupling points are strategically placed within the supply chain to separate processes and buffer against variability. Demand-driven supply networks aim to minimize the inventory and lead times while ensuring responsiveness to the customer demand by strategically positioning the decoupling points. Demand responsive supply chain orchestration. Effective orchestration of supply chain effectively is essential in demand-driven supply. This involves dynamically adjusting production, inventory levels, and distribution to match the demand fluctuation. That means, this says that orchestration means you say that production and inventory levels have to be dynamically changed, to be adjusted to match the demand fluctuations. Technological enablement. Demand-driven supply network leverage the advanced technology such as cloud computing, big data analytics, LOT, and artificial intelligence to enable real-time visibility, predictive analytics, and automation of supply chain process. Continuous improvement is a core principle of demand-driven supply network. Companies regularly monitor performance metrics, identify opportunities for optimization, implement process improvements to enhance the responsiveness, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. Balance is crucial for achieving supply chain excellence. Indeed, if you want to achieve excellence in supply chain, balance is necessary. A well-balanced supply chain considers various conflicting factors and optimize them to achieve overall effectiveness and efficiency. Here is how balance contributes to supply chain excellence. Balancing cost consideration with service level is essential. While reducing cost is important for profitability, it is equally crucial to meet the customer expectation regarding delivery time, product quality, and after-sales support. Another conflicting factor is inventory and versus customer demand. Maintaining optimal inventory level requires balancing the cost of holding inventory against the risk of stockouts and lost sales. So, by aligning inventory levels with customer demand patterns, companies can minimize the carrying cost while ensuring product availability. Again, speed versus flexibility. Balancing speed and flexibility in the supply chain is critical for responding quickly to changing market conditions and customer needs. While speed is essential for meeting tight deadlines, flexibility allows companies to adapt to unforeseen disruptions or demand fluctuations without sacrificing efficiency. Then there is globalization versus localization. Achieving the right balance between global sourcing and local responsiveness is crucial for supply chain success. While globalization offers cost advantage and access to diverse market, localization allows companies to tailor products and services to local preference and regulatory requirements. Risk versus resilience. Balancing risk management with supply chain resilience is a vital for mitigating potential disruption while maintaining operational efficiency. By identifying and managing risks proactively, company can build resilience into their supply chains to withstand unforeseen events such as natural disaster, geopolitical instability, or supplier failures. Efficiency versus sustainability. Balancing efficiency with sustainability consideration is increasingly important in today's business environment. While optimizing process for cost and resource efficiency is essential, company must also address environmental and social impacts to ensure long-term sustainability and corporate responsibility. Supplier relationship and competition. Balancing collaborative relationship with suppliers and competitiveness is key to optimizing the supply chain. While building strong partnership with suppliers can lead to innovation, cost saving, risk mitigation, company must also maintain a competitive edge in the marketplace. Technology versus human expertise. Balancing the use of technology with human expertise is critical for leveraging the benefits of automation and digitalization while ensuring decision-making remains informed and strategic. Company must strike the right balance between technology-driven efficiency gains and human creativity, intuitions, and problem-solving skills. Long-term and short-term and long-term goals. Balancing short-term performance objectives with long-term strategic goals is essential for sustainable supply chain excellence. While focusing on immediate cost reduction or reverse growth is important, company must invest in initiatives that drive long-term competitiveness, innovation, and resilience. By achieving balance across all these factors, company can optimize their supply chain for efficiency, responsiveness, resilience, and ultimately driving competitive advantage and delivering value to the customers. Above three types of demand visibility must be conquered to achieve the demand-driven supply. Replacement-based demand, it is predictable demand that form the baseline for forecasting and planning. This may be electronic data interchange orders or some other form of pool replacement on steady run products. Visibility can change from system to system or supported with mutual planning and replacement process. For FMCG, replacement level is visibility is a definite technology issue that leaders are tracking with demand data hubs to consolidate and manage points of sales. Such demand sensing and managing events that change demand is a more matter of sophisticated demand modeling and forecasting. It requires combining post and other actual historical demand data with intelligence about customer behavior unique to the events like weather, fashion, network effects, and promotions. And the role of technology is in use of the algorithm-based tools to model and prepare for such surge demand. Many vendors are targeting this problem in their applications. Future demand, strategic planning for future products and their effect on buying behavior is another important aspect to ponder upon. Planning for future is really a matter of product portfolio management as it relates to manufacturers with long lead time component and process. With future products, demand planning depends mostly on the way of working with lead times against marketing intent and attempting to build a supply chain that is ready once orders starts rolling in. PPM applications are available from specialists like IDC or Safen as well with the suits of most product life cycle management and ERP vendors. Following should fit into the skill set of modern supply chain design manager. Define the integrated supply chain management, its components and how they are integrated. Number two, understand the impact of demand on supply chain and the considerable competitive advantage that can result from managing demand across companies. Number three, define value. From the prospective customer, learn how to manage the supply chain to deliver that value. Learn to manage the sourcing and information technology functions within the global supply chain. Understand the importance of managing the relationship with suppliers and customers to create differential advantage. Supply chain design refers to process of creating and configuring the structure and framework of a supply chain network to meet the strategic objectives and requirements of a business. That means supply chain design is a process of creating a structure that can meet the long-term objectives and requirements of business. It involves making strategic decisions regarding the optimal design of the supply chain components such as facilities, distribution channel, transportation network, inventory policies, and information system. Now, assessment of business objective. First step in supply chain design is to clearly define the strategic objective, long-term objectives, goals of the business. This may include cost reduction, service level improvement, market expansion, sustainability, or risk mitigation. Understanding the business priorities, long-term goal is essential for designing an effective supply chain. Analysis of supply chain requirement. Next, business needs to analyze their supply chain requirement, including the product characteristics, demand patterns, the lead time, customer expectations, and competitive dynamics. This analysis helps to identify the critical factors that influence supply chain design decisions and determine the optimal design parameters. Network design, the core component of supply chain design is the configuration of the supply chain network, including the number, location, and capacity of facilities such as manufacturing plants, warehouses, distribution centers, and retail outlets. Network design decisions are based on factors such as demand patterns, transportation cost, inventory holding cost, and service requirement. Transportation and logistic planning. Transportation and logistic play a crucial role in supply chain design as they impact the efficiency, cost, and responsiveness of the supply chain. Business need to determine the optimal transportation modes, routes, carriers, and distribution strategies to minimize the transportation cost, reduce lead time, improve the service levels. Inventory policies and strategies are key components of supply chain design as they determine the level and location of inventory with the supply chain network. Businesses need to balance the trade-offs between inventory holding cost and stock out risk to optimize the inventory level, safety stock, and replacement strategies. Information system and technology infrastructure are essential enablers of supply chain design, providing visibility, connectivity, and coordination across the supply chain network. Businesses need to invest in technology such as enterprise resource planning, warehouse management system, transportation management systems, supply chain analytic tools to support the supply chain design and executions. Yes, risk management, supply chain design also assessing and mitigating risks such as supply disruptions, demand volatility, geopolitical events, and natural disasters. These are the disturbances which may bring risk to the supply chain management. Businesses need to develop contingency plan, diversify suppliers, build resilience into their supply chain networks to minimize the impact of disruption and ensure business continuity. Performance measurement and continuous improvement. Supply chain design is an iterative process that requires ongoing monitoring, evaluation, and optimization. Businesses need to establish key performance indicators, KPIs, and matrices to measure the performance of their supply chain networks and identify the areas for improvement. Continuous improvement initiatives such as lean production, Six Sigma, total quality management helps business to refine their supply chain designs and enhance the performance over time. As we know, TQM is a philosophy which requires the involvement of all those people who are there in the organizations. And this also helps their supply chain design and enhance performance over time. Overall, supply chain design is a strategic process that involves aligning supply chain capabilities with business objectives to create a flexible, efficient, resilient supply chain network that can adapt to changing market conditions, deliver value to the customers. By optimizing the design of their supply chain network, businesses can achieve competitive advantage, reduce cost, enhance customer satisfaction. Now, what is supply chain strategy? A supply chain strategy is like a roadmap that helps the company to get their products to the customers with little friction as possible. The plan ensures that every phase of the supply chain is optimized, including the sourcing of materials, manufacturing, delivery, and logistics. There are four supply chain strategies. Inventory keeps safety stock or buffer stock to protect against the delays or demand surges. Materials arrive before demand to protect the upstreams or downstream process or delivery point. Capacity buffer leverage the underutilized space like warehouse and production facilities. And second is to diversify your manufacturing and sourcing network. A supply chain disruption have intensified over the past decade, and procurement directors are relying on a single source to get the product is risky. For example, in 2011, the natural disaster in Thailand and Japan prevented nearly finished car from being shipped overseas. Diversifying your network also multi-sourcing starts with categorizing partners based on two criteria, current cost and financial impact. If the partner cannot follow through in the event of unforeseen circumstances, then you can forego relationship with additional suppliers or a supplier that has capabilities in multiple locations. So you can build a relationship with additional suppliers or supplier that has capabilities in multiple locations. That means instead of relying on a single suppliers, is the better to rely on multiple suppliers. Then invest in demand forecasting. Demand forecasting is very essential. Demand forecasting is a process of using data, not gut feelings, to gauge the demand for the material ahead of time. So don't come up with short when it matters the most. Accurate demand forecasting improves lead times, cost, improves customer satisfaction. Standardize your process. The more consistent you keep your supply chain operation, the more dependable it will be. This is especially true for organizations whose suppliers and manufacturers are scattered across the world. Then the process view of a supply chain, it consists of cycle view. Process in a supply chain are divided into a series of cycles, each performed at the interfaces between two supply chain stages. Push-pull view, process in a supply chain are divided into two categories depending whether they are executed in response to consumer order, that is called pull system, or in anticipation of a customer demand, that is push system. Now push is a traditional system where we produce and keep in our stock in anticipation of future demand. Now this is the cycle view of the supply chain. There are 6 stages: customer, retailers, distributors, and the cycle starts from the supplier, procurement cycle, then manufacturing cycle, then there is replacement cycle, then customer order cycles. Each cycle occurs at the interface between the two successive customer order cycle. It is the interface between customer and retailer. Replacement cycle, it is the interface between the retailer and the distributors. Manufacturing cycle, it is the distributor and manufacturing interface. Procurement cycle, manufacturer and suppliers. Cycle view clearly define the process involved and the owners of each process. Specify the role and responsibility of each member and the desired outcome of each process. Supply chain strategies are overarching plans that guide the management of supply chain activities to achieve specific business objectives. These strategies encompass a range of decisions and actions aimed at optimizing the flow of goods. Information and resource across the supply chain network. Here are some common supply chain strategies. Cost leadership. strategies focus on minimizing the costs throughout the supply chain while maintaining the acceptable level of quality and service. This may involve optimizing the procurement process, reducing the production costs, streamlining logistic operations, minimizing the inventory holding cost. Then differentiation strategies aim to create unique value for the customer through superior product quality, design, features, or customer service. Supply chain differentiation may involve offering customized products, faster delivery times, flexible order fulfillment options, innovative packaging, and branding. Howley's uncertainty framework. Howley's uncertainty framework is a conceptual model developed by Dr. Howley, a prominent supply chain management researcher and a professor at Stanford University. The framework helps business understand and categorize sources of uncertainty in their supply chains, allowing them to develop appropriate strategies to mitigate risk and enhance responsiveness. The uncertainty framework consists of two dimensions. Supply chain uncertainty refers to the variability and unpredictability in the availability, reliability and quality of the inputs or resources. It consists of factors such as suppliers' reliability, lead time variability, production capacity constraint, supply chain disruptions. Stable supply in environments with low supply uncertainty, inputs are readily available and suppliers are available and consistent in delivering products or materials. Businesses operating in stable supply chain environments can focus on efficiency and cost optimization strategies. Demand-driven supply in environments with moderate supply uncertainty. Businesses prioritize responsiveness and flexibility to meet fluctuating demand patterns. They may adopt strategies such as demand-driven replacement, flexible manufacturing, agile supply chain practices to quickly adjust the production and inventory levels in response to changing market conditions. Speculative supply in environments with high supply uncertainty, inputs are scarce, unpredictable, or subject to frequent disruption. Businesses facing speculative supply uncertainty may implement risk mitigation strategies such as dual sourcing, inventory buffers, supply chain diversification to ensure continuity of supply and reduce vulnerability to disruptions. Demand uncertainty is a very important factor which refers to the variability and unpredictability in customer demand for product because it depends on various dynamic factors such as seasons, market volatility, changing customer preferences. In environment with low demand uncertainty, customer demand is stable and predictable, allowing the business to focus on efficiency and cost minimization. They may adopt lean principle, just-in-time practices, and optimize production scheduling to minimize the inventory level and reduce waste. Efficient supply in environments with moderate demand uncertainty, businesses balance efficiency and responsiveness to meet customer demand while controlling cost. They may implement strategies such as collaborative forecasting, inventory postponement, and channel optimization to improve demand forecasting accuracy and reduce supply chain lead times. Agile supply in environments with high demand uncertainty. Customer demand is volatile and unpredictable, require business to prioritize flexibility and responsiveness. They may adopt agile supply chain practices such as flexible manufacturing, dynamic pricing, rapid replacement to quickly adapt to changing demand patterns and market conditions. By analyzing the levels of supply and demand uncertainty in their supply chain, businesses can identify the most appropriate strategies and capabilities to manage risk, optimize performance, and enhance the competitiveness. Hooli's uncertainty framework provides a valuable tool for aligning supply chain strategies with specific characteristics and challenges of different supply chain environment. Aligning strategies for efficiency and cost saving. So, aligning the strategy for efficiency and cost saving, there are a lot of elements there. Lean principle. What is lean principle? Lean principle believes in minimizing the waste, reduce the lead times, improve efficiency throughout the supply chain. This involves identifying and eliminating non-value added activities, streamlining the processes, and optimizing resource utilization to improve productivity and reduce cost. Optimize inventory management. Adopt inventory management techniques such as just-in-time, demand-driven replacement to minimize inventory levels while ensuring product availability. By synchronizing the production and inventory levels with customer demand, business can reduce carrying cost, minimize obsolescence, and improve working capital efficiency. Lean principle implement principles reduce S. Adopt inventory management techniques and demand-driven replacement to minimize the inventory levels. Then superior collaboration. Collaborate closely with the suppliers to optimize the procurement process, reduce cost, improve supply chain efficiency, develop strategic partnership with key suppliers, establish clear communication channels, negotiate favorable terms to leverage the economics of scale, reduce lead times, and minimize supply chain disruption. Supply chain network optimization. Optimize the design and configuration of supply chain network to minimize the transportation cost, reduce lead times, improve service level, consolidate shipments, optimize transportation routes, leverage technology such as network modeling, simulation to identify the opportunity for cost saving and efficiency improvements. Technology integration. Leverage the technology and digital solution to automate processes, improve visibility, enhance decision making in the supply chain, implement supply chain management system, enterprise resource planning software, advanced analytical tools to streamline the operations, optimize resource allocation, identify opportunity for cost saving. Continuous improvement. Foster a culture of continuous improvement and innovation throughout the supply chain. Encourage the employees to identify the inefficiency, propose process improvements, implement best practices to drive productivity gains and cost saving, establish matrices and key performance indicators to monitor performance and track the progress towards efficiency and cost saving goals. Risk management. Proactively identify and mitigate that could impact supply chain efficiency and increase cost. Develop risk mitigation strategies. Diversify suppliers. Establish contingency plans. Then total cost ownership TCO analysis. Conduct total cost ownership analysis to evaluate the true cost of the product and services across the supply chain life cycle. Consider not only the purchase price but all the factors such as transportation cost, inventory carrying cost, quality cost, potential risk. By aligning this strategy for efficiency and cost saving in the supply chain, businesses can optimize the performance, enhance competitiveness. Production and process in the supply chain. Production and process in supply chain involve manufacturing and creation of goods and service as well as associated process required to move this product efficiently. What is manufacturing process? Manufacturing process involves converting the raw materials or components into finished products. Depending on industry and product type, manufacturing process can vary widely, including assembly, machining, fabrication, casting, molding, chemical processing. Quality management. Quality management is essential in production process to ensure that product meets predefined standards and customer requirements. Quality control measures such as inspection, testing, audits are implemented throughout the production process to identify and address the defects, deviations, and non-conformities. Capacity planning involves determining the optimal Yes. Capacity planning involves determining the optimal production capacity, resources required to meet the demand while minimizing the cost and maximizing efficiency. Business need to forecast demand, assess the production capabilities, balance capacity constraints to avoid underutilization or overutilization of resources. Capacity planning also involves optimizing production schedules, workforce allocation, and equipment utilization to achieve optimal productivity levels. Inventory management is crucial in production process to ensure the availability of raw materials, components, and finished goods at the right time in the right quantities. Effective inventory management practices such as demand forecasting, safety stock optimization, just-in-time inventory replacement helps to minimize inventory carrying costs, reduce stockouts, improve supply chain responsiveness. Production process must be integrated with the supply chain activities such as procurement, logistics, distribution to ensure seamless coordination and collaboration across the supply chain. Integration enables real-time visibility and information sharing, synchronization of production schedule, inventory level, and customer demand, leading to improved efficiency and responsiveness. Resource optimization involves maximizing the utilization of the production resources such as labor, equipment, and facilities to minimize cost and improve efficiency. Businesses use techniques such as production planning and scheduling, workload balancing, process optimization to optimize resource allocation and minimize idle time, downtime, and waste. Sustainability and environment management. Sustainable production practices to aim to minimize the environment impact, conserve resources, and promote social responsibility throughout the production process. Technological adoption. Technology plays a crucial role in modern production process, enabling automation, data-driven decision making, process optimization. Businesses invest in advanced technologies such as robotics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, digital twins to enhance the production efficiency, quality, and flexibility. Design for management and design for logistics. Design for management refers to the practice of designing the product and process and system with overarching goals of facilitating effective management and operation throughout their life cycle. It involves considering management requirements, constraints, and objectives during the design process to ensure that products are not only functional and cost effective. Key principle is life cycle management. That means design for management encompasses the entire life cycle of a product or system for conception and design to the manufacturing, operation, and disposal. Then interoperability, design for management emphasizes interoperability and compatibility with existing management system, processes and technologies. Standardization and modularity. Standardization are key principles in design for management, enabling flexibility, scalability and interoperability. And by standardizing components, interference and processes, business can streamline management, feedback and continuous improvement. Whereas design for logistics is defined as designing the product, packaging, supply chain processes with the objectives of optimizing the logistic and distribution efficiency. Key principles are here: packaging optimization, design for logistic emphasize the packaging optimization to minimize material use, reduce packaging waste, maximize space utilization. Product design for transportation. Product design considerations such as size, shape, weight impact the transport efficiency and logistic cost. Supply chain visibility. Design for logistic emphasize supply chain visibility, traceability to facilitate efficient logistic management. Business leverage technology such as RFID, barcoding, GPS, collaboration and coordinations. Design for logistic encourage collaboration and coordination among the supply chain partners. Reverse logistic. Design for logistic also consider reverse logistic process such as product return, repairs, recycling. Products should be designed for each of disassembly, repair, recycling to minimize cost and environmental impact associated with. Then supply chain management trade corp is a strategic management of the flow of goods and services, information and finances from point of origin to the point of consumption. A trade corp, in the other hand, typically refers to the graphical representation of the trade flows between the countries or regions over time. Trade corp illustrates the volume or the value of imports and exports exchange between trading partners, usually plotted on a graph with time on the horizontal axis and trade volume on the vertical axis, that is on the y-axis. While supply chain management focuses on internal processes within a company across the network involved in production and distribution of goods, the trade corps provide insight in the external trade relation between countries and regions. Impact of trade flows on supply chain. Changes in trade pattern and trade volumes can have significant implications for the supply chain management. Company must adopt their supply chain strategy to accommodate shifts in the sourcing, manufacturing and disruption patterns resulting from changes in the trade relationship, tariffs or trade agreements. Supply chain optimization for international trade. Supply chain management practices may need to be tailored to support international trade, considering factors such as customer regulation, transportation logistics, cross-border security requirements. Company may implement strategies to streamline customer clearance, minimize transit time, optimize transportation routes to support efficient international trade. Market access and trade opportunities. Trade corp can provide insights into emerging market, trade opportunities, potential risks for companies engaged in global supply chain. Supply chain managers can use trade data and analysis to identify new market. In summary, while supply chain management trade corps represent different aspects of global trade and commerce, they are generally interconnected. Greening the supply chain, also known as supply chain management, refers to the integration of environmental considerations. What is that? Supplier engagement. Work closely with suppliers to promote sustainable practices throughout the supply chain. Encourage suppliers to adopt environmental friendly process. Reduce the waste. Minimize energy consumption. Product design and packaging. Design the products and packaging with sustainability in mind. Use eco-friendly materials. Reduce packaging waste. design products for recyclability or biodegradability. Consider the entire product life cycle from raw materials extraction to the end of life disposal. Minimize environmental impact at every stage. Energy efficiency, improve energy efficiency, optimize transportation, waste reduction and recycling, implement waste reduction and recycling programs. Life cycle assessment, conduct life cycle assessment to evaluate the environmental impact of the products. Regulatory compliance and certification, ensure compliance with the environmental regulations and standards governing supply chain operations. Continuous improvement, foster a culture of continuous improvement and innovation to drive sustainable initiative. And basically, when you talk about energy efficiency, it talks about the energy efficiency throughout the supply chain by optimizing the processes, reducing energy consumption, investing in renewable energy source, implement the energy management practices such as upgrading the equipment, optimizing the transportation routes, using energy efficient, and talking about transportation optimization, optimizing the transportation operation to minimize the fuel consumption, reduce emissions, lower transportation cost. Then supplier engagement, as I told you, work closely with the suppliers to promote the sustainable practices throughout the supply chain. Encourage to supply to adopt the environmental friendly process. And while designing a product and packaging with a product, we should keep sustainability in mind, use eco-friendly materials, reduce packaging waste, and design products for recyclability or biodegradability. Consider the entire product life cycle. Then greening the supply chain also, as I told you, known as a supply chain management, refers to integration of environmental consideration into a design, planning and execution and management of supply chain activities. So, as I told you, this class was typically about your supply chain design, and many factors play an important role in the supply chain, like your supply chain and trade corp have important relationship. Supply chain management is the strategic management flow of the goods and services. It deals basically with internal factors, while trade corp deals mainly with the external factors. A trade corp merely is a graphical representations of the trade flows. And I've also highlighted on design for management and design for logistics. Management basically leads to designing the product, process and systems, while designing for logistics talks about the designing the products, packaging and supply chain processes with the objective of optimizing the logistic and distribution efficiency. So generally, it focuses on minimizing the transportation cost and reducing the lead time. So, in key principles here, packaging optimization. That means the packaging should be lightweight, durable, easy to handle, while also providing adequate protection to the. So, to end my lecture today, the supply chain design is an important concept in any organization. If you properly design your supply chain, you can be a very successful and profitable organization. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class.